You are live.
Well, hey guys, welcome to the Table Talk Radio Show. I'm your host, Tanisha Simpkins, and this is the other host here, Nathan Austin.
What's up,
Today
people?
is Monday. I don't even know today's date.
Boy,
Monday the
my son was here.
23rd.
He was ready to tell me. It's the 23rd. No, I think it's the 24th.
No, it's actually the 23rd. Today is the 23rd. And I say that because these days and times are kind of like running into each other because I'm getting up and I'm being real lazy. I'm getting up like,
What?
what time is it? Like what
Wow.
day is it? Basically, what day is it? And okay, today is
Well, today is Monday. Confirmed that today is Monday. I'm a pastor, so I know the month like by Sundays. I know it was just for Sunday. That's about all I know. But I will take your word. It is the 23rd day of March, 2020.
okay. So now we know that there's a lot that's going on, guys. Again, the Table Talk Radio Show, we talk about everything. We put it on the table when it comes to hey Shakina, when it comes to
Stuff.
business, entertainment, media, education, politics, the world, religion. We talking
Everything.
about it.
Politics. You name
Yeah,
it.
I know, right? Politics. I mean, that's like I don't even know. It's like so many different things and so many angles that you can talk about politics right now. It'll probably take all day. We won't do that,
Right.
but it will take just that long, considering what's going on. And the question would be because we live in South Florida,
Yes, we
and I
do.
know a lot of other places have well claim to have shut down in their own way. So
Yes.
everyone is saying, "What's up with Florida? How come I still see people walking on the beach, still in Hollover on what you call that thing they have, the bar? Oh man, I can't
I'm a
think of
pastor.
it.
I don't know what about.
Whatever.
Yeah.
There and what's up with all the, it's just so many people I even had to tell my mother, can you stay home? Why?
Listen,
Where are you going?
this is Florida. People come here to get out the house, and so Florida Floridians, we don't listen. We got a very hard head. That's why every time something happens nationwide, you can count on the fact that it's gonna always have a Florida connection because Florida is hard headed. We don't listen, and this is spring break. This is the week of spring break, and these college students, these millennials, they don't,
spend their money.
they spent their money, and they can't get any refunds, and so they just gonna live it up. They feel like once they were told that the coronavirus affects older people, they feel their immune systems are young enough to handle it, and so they're just out here just having a good time. But I think the smackdown is coming if it hasn't already in certain areas.
Most of the little mayors, well, not little. I'm sorry.
You call those people?
I didn't say. I didn't try to say that. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all have
the
big
little
jobs.
mayors.
But most of the mayors, have been doing a great job at putting this information out as to what's available for their city or their town.
Right.
Some of them can step up to the plate to let people know. you know but I commend a lot of them because it gives people the resources, and they've been doing it by social media,
right,
and everyone else have been sharing. It gives everybody else that opportunity to know, okay, this is what I need to do. I shouldn't go here.
right.
This place here is open, this place is closed. The hospitals, if someone's in a hospital, you're not able to go visit them.
What? So
No,
I can
you're
tell my
not.
members,
Sorry.
hear from real. Okay,
No, I got to call you.
I got to use that.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to. They had it, and not only that, and also the list of businesses that are still open. And I'm not quite sure why we need these businesses, because if we in the store buying up all this food and all of that, shouldn't we be cooking it? Or we waiting, or they feel like they gonna wait to cook it?
Well, I mean, some people are, they got to eat, and they don't know how many times they have to go out. I think what's happening now, once you stand in that line, you don't really want to stand in that line, so you're going to buy what you think you want to eat next week, next month,
Right.
next year, because people stand in lines for like an hour or so it's going to be hard for people to just buy the essentials for the week or for 2 weeks, and so and then people are just scared. They're scared to know what's going to happen. So I think toilet paper is still in hot demand. It's just the way it is. But in Florida, whatever comes down, you can count on Florida to break the rules. You can certainly, but give it up props up to the little mayors of the towns that
I
don't
mean
have,
that. I didn't mean
and
it like
little in the
that.
fact that they don't have the TV time that the Broward County mayor, the down,
Right.
the Dade County mayors, and so they're in municipalities, and so they don't get necessarily the press coverage. So they have to utilize social media in this season, and getting the word out through the local commissioners. But it's a fluid situation, and it's rough on everybody. It's rough on it's rough on the cities. It's rough on the pastors. Nobody wants to talk about that, but it's rough on us too. Some pastors have been lambasted about opening. Some have been talked about being closed. What do you do? What does the church do? Does the church open or does it stay closed? Really, the church is never closed, but some people have, criticized the church that's closed. How's the church? Where's your faith? Oh, ye
Okay.
of little
All right.
faith.
So
And so, what you say about that?
so you.
Okay, me. Okay.
You. Let's
Okay.
talk about
Talk about me.
Nathan Austin is
Zion.
also a pastor of a church. For how many years you been a pastor of a church?
I would have celebrated 9 years, but it don't look like I'm gonna get this.
He'll be celebrating. So
I might have a social media shout out.
yeah,
9 years in April. 9 years in April.
9 years in April.
Yes.
So Pastor Austin. So we're gonna put the hat on as Pastor Austin right now. You still had church.
I had church Sunday for the last time. Maybe the last. I did.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you had church, and let me ask you a question. Did you get a lot of slack? A lot of, not even gonna say slack, a lot of smack from people?
No,
or was it like, okay, do your thing?
The crazy part about it is, and I can say this now, it's over. We met with our church on Tuesday, and I really had all intentions of not having church on Sunday. I asked them for a plan. We have a member of our church that's in her last year of residency, and we had her make a presentation. We talked about everything that's going on, and I asked for the feedback. Those church folks start throwing scripture at me about the sacredness of the assembly and all that type of stuff. And so, we talked about some of the older people staying at home, and then the older people got offended because, So we ended up having church, and we had great church, great attendance. I was amazed at the attendance, but we did officially use this past Sunday as our official last Sunday that we will be gathering. We're going to be going virtually, virtual from now on. But I didn't have anybody to attack me personally. I've seen a lot of people did attack the church for being open. But the challenge that the church has is this. I've been receiving calls from local officials about our church being open to help the community as far as feeding and different things of that nature. Some have been with financial assistance. Some have been, can the church make this donation to help out? And so there's a challenge, because the challenge is, if the church is going to be open to do ministry, can it still be open to do, service? And so I get it. Church is always a big target, but for ourselves,
you know what? That's a good question, because and I'll shift gears. They have the disaster loan, which is the bridge loan, and your business has to be closed in order to apply. That's one of the qualifications, and that's why a lot of businesses did close. Small businesses did close, and also 501 businesses and organizations are a part of getting the loan as well. They have to be closed, so I think that was another reason why they wanted some of the to push them in that okay, now you can apply and try to get some of these funds, because just like a house note, you still got to pay the light bill in the church.
I mean,
you still got to pay the mortgage.
Thank God we don't have the mortgage, but we have the other essential bills that we need to pay. Staff, staff. We don't have many full-time staff, but We have part-time staff workers, one full-time, other than myself, and so people still need
Right.
that as well. And so there are a lot of parameters around what's going on. It's really I don't think that there's a right or wrong answer. I think that of course, for what we did personally, we try to make sure that we kind of govern ourselves for the safety of our church. But I don't really think that there is a right or wrong. I don't think no one person has the exact answer. So
Well, continue whatever it is that you guys feel comfortable with doing.
I don't know.
That's the only thing that I can say. But
after
the numbers are climbing.
Yeah, they're climbing.
Well, y'all gonna have good church because that feeling.
Yeah, we had good church.
Everybody had that feeling. So if I would have walked in there, I would have did the dance. You understand what I'm saying? It's that feeling of I got to let this
dance
loose.
where you go. That's why.
Yes, I do. In my little section, you better ask them. They say, hey, that's a loud corner.
Don't get put out.
That's my corner. They know if you come over there in my little corner at my church, that's where Tanisha at. And yeah, I'm the amen, hallelujah.
I'm always picking at her at her church, so she knows I'm always.
we say hallelujah.
We gotta talk
at my
about
church.
that another time. You gotta get that. It's an inside joke. So I didn't know about the loans though.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I should have told him to link in with us. It's been a while that Representative Chevron Jones, he did
can I shout out that brother? I don't know him personally, but everything I have seen
he's a very good
him,
friend to Table Talk Radio.
He has been on the ball. I must say, I commend him. I wish I lived in his district because he has been holding up. He's been. They got a little slogan about him kicking butt, something else.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that. So
absolutely,
whatever he's running for in the future, vote for that brother. Senator.
Yeah.
We're gonna vote for that brother because he is doing an awesome job for the citizens of Broward County.
And I always have, and the reason why is because he's being informative. He's giving us answers that we have questions. Sometimes we're not even thinking of the question, but he has the answers to it.
Wow.
So, shout out to him. And he the one I was looking at his live today. He gave that information because I didn't know it was also for 501 organizations and so forth.
Awesome.
So, but I didn't know that you had to be closed in order to receive it.
Are we closed now?
But make sure, now I just want to tell people this, from all across the world, it is a loan.
Oh.
Okay, let me say this one more time.
Loan.
It is a loan. Now, you guys' building is paid off.
Yes, it is.
That's because, and I would say that because I know their history, and they kind of like in the history of my first church, they're very, oh God, if I say that, I sound like I'm not saying other churches. They're very responsible when it comes to economics and making sure that their church is grounded. Okay, if that sounds better. But y'all don't have no mortgage. Would you still do the loan? You understand what I'm saying? So some churches have to think of that. Would I still do the loan? Because it's only what?
Not free
50,000 maybe, I don't know. I think it's just $50,000.
The interest rate is better than the bank.
Well, the interest rate may be zero considering. I don't know about all that, but I'm just guessing. Somebody look it up and tell me.
Girl, you about to win?
Let
me get somebody on. I got some members watching. Y'all get on that.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you a good come up for people, and I'll leave that alone. Good come up for people is if you're good at filling out information, you'll put your information out there. Hey, I'll charge this amount of money to go ahead and fill out your application.
Almost like a grant writer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's some free information. Teresa, I know you was listening. You're very smart and equipped.
Right.
That would.
It's all about the language. It's just like a grant. You have to know the language that they're looking for, so that you can utilize that. A lot of small businesses, even grants and things of that nature, they don't know how to write the grants because they don't know to use proper terminology. And so it's probably the same way with this. And so this is a good season. I give a little forecast about Bible study. One of the things I think is happening is that there are going to be a lot of people that are creative that stop being creative because of their career. And now that a lot of them are sitting at home and some of them may have to miss a few checks, they're going to go back and tap into that creativity because there are just still streams and ways that you can make money. Not capitalizing, but taking advantage of of someone's gonna need help with getting these things done. And so if you're out there and you know how to write real well and know how to fill out applications, reach out and make sure that you know extend your services so that we can help each other during this season.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, be creative in what you do. Um,
Don't cheat nobody now, but just help them. You
that's a
know?
good thought. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
cheat anyone.
Don't cheat the people.
Yeah, charge $500.
Yeah, $500, and you know added your bank account to the.
Like the tax people. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Um, yeah. So guys, if please give me some hearts if you're watching now, please share. I'm doing this on a different platform. I have a banner there that says we want to hear what you have to say. Okay. Leave a question or comment. This is Tanisha Simpkins and Nathan Austin here, the host with the Table Talk Radio Show. It's just the two of us right now. I'm looking for a third person. I mentioned her.
Fit? We already breaking the doggone law. You're talking about two. We met the quota. The scripture says two.
Well, maybe okay.
There's no more. We can't get no more. We already.
So the building we at
they might shut us down. Don't tell them where we at. They don't shut us down. We're not supposed to be this close.
Okay, so maybe the person will get a round table.
Yeah,
get a round table.
Round table talk.
Yeah, normally it's a round table. So if we have a round table, then it's
can't
easy.
make it red though, because somebody already got that idea.
No, I won't make it red, but I was already at the Table Talk Show. But if we get a round table, then we'll be able to have two more people, and we are looking. But I have someone in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So guys, leave a comment, leave some hearts, leave some likes. Please make sure that you share. We're giving out some good information here on the Table Talk Radio Show. Like I said, guys, I'm normally on a Sunday.
My wife says social distance. She's gonna make me take 5 showers and wash my hands 14 times. Because she said I'm not maintaining social distance.
Okay, Kim, if that works for y'all, that works for y'all. All right, First Lady. Pastor's wife, I get it.
I don't know what that comment means, man. I'm just.
He gave his own analogy of what the comment is. I've been with
somebody 20 years. There's a rule in my house. Every hour, or at least half an hour, everybody has to wash their hands. No matter what. But that makes sense, though. I mean, that actually. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good rule. If you guys are listening, that's a rule for somebody who don't pay the water bill.
No. What? Well. Now
we're gonna come up in this season. It's gonna be the water company.
Let's transition to that, and the transition is this: just because a lot of the places, like your water company, your light company, your mortgage, your vehicle, your health care, also, just because we're right now as considered to be a national disaster, because it is.
I see where you're going.
Make sure before you stop paying them bills, don't just assume
you better call
Florida Power and Light or Georgia Power or Ohio Bell or whoever already know what's going on. They already know I'm late.
Right.
Don't do it. Pay your bill. If you don't have it because you had to buy groceries or whatever, make sure that you call them, because then they'll put an extension on it for you.
Yes, because if you live in Lake Worth, there's a social media video been floating around. Big argument with the mayor, and she cut those people's stuff off.
Yeah.
She disconnected. They were behind, and there was a big fallout, but she did it, and so
and he let her have it.
He let her have. You got to watch it. It's somewhere. Lake Worth.
You know what? If I would knew that earlier, but on this streaming, I could have pulled it up. You could have
pulled that up.
Yeah, it's something new now, guys. But we're doing big time.
But yeah, so don't assume that that they're gonna keep it on because we're in this pandemic. You may just be surprised. So make sure that you at least call them. They understand it's a hardship, and so. You can let them know that it's a hardship. And again, it's all about language.
You have to say national disaster.
Right. You need to say the national disaster.
When I was working for a car company, when they call in and wanted, it was a national, what was it? The government had shut down.
Okay.
And the people who work for the government will call in and they had to say the word national disaster in order to push that payment
Right.
to the end or behind or whatever the case may be, is what you asked for. Now, once they do that, you got to remember now. Don't think that because they extended it it will not be paid or that it's excused.
Correct.
Please.
There's a difference, and I was going to say that. Make sure that you understand what's going on, especially with your mortgage. There are some. I did read online that there are some good mortgage companies that have waived the actual payment itself. They've waived one payment, especially if you've been in good standing and never been late, and they waived. But some are going to, as you said, extend it or put it in the back. Now you have to make sure that if they decide to do that, that they're not the interest. You need to have the conversation with them because that can extend the amount that you're paying. So you need to understand exactly what's going on, so that you can know where you are and make sure that if you're not comfortable with it, ask someone to help you with it. But
Right.
More importantly, if you can pay the bill, pay the bill.
That's
Pay
what
the
I'm
bill.
saying.
Don't
That's
just
what, yeah. Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm
not
like. If
extra
you can pay
money,
the bill, just
spending
pay the
money,
bill.
but do that. That's very important. But if you are experiencing a hardship, it is very important that you understand the exact terminology and language that you need to use. You just can't say I ain't got it. You have to let them know where you are, so that and talk intelligently with them. Don't say don't you know what's going. No, they are there. I know who our audience. We have to explain it to them, but let them know that listen, you're dealing with a hardship, and more than likely they'll be more than happy to do so. Also, with pastors, I was speaking to a pastor the other day, and we were talking about this, and he said to the bank, who was kind of reluctant, and said, "Listen, if you don't work with us now, trust me, we will pull our resources. This is the season where we have more power than we think we have.
Absolutely.
Because there are going to be people fighting for your business. And so, the thought of refinancing and moving your money out of account, you can use that as the necessary leverage that you need to make some things happen. So, and that's with anything right now. If you're going to buy a car.
Oh, yeah. They're giving away cars.
Yeah, they're giving away. I'm holding out. I'm looking for a car. And so we're just riding it out as long as we can in one car because we know that at some point they're going to literally be giving them away. And so this is an opportunity to be smart financially.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of strong financial gains that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I believe that. I believe that.
Yeah. Now you still got someone to pay down on. Don't go out there without no money.
No, I don't pay no money down. No, I don't do that. That's all
y'all got good credit.
I got
Kim gave y'all good credit.
Ooh, she gonna start laughing and she did listen.
Yeah,
that's true though. She did help a brother out though.
Yeah. So and another thing, I want to make a U-turn. We were talking about politics, and last week we talked about Andrew Gillum.
Oh my man!
You want to talk about him?
Yeah, we talking about him. Hey.
Yeah. Andrew Gillum. It was
I thought last week was a bad week for him.
I know, right? Until you see some pictures, right?
Oh,
which hopefully, I mean, even though they out there, they're trying to be recanted back or taken back from. They was out from a certain publication,
right?
So he has a lawyer.
But you can't put
they hired a lawyer. I'm thinking he should have already had a lawyer, but
right.
To take those pictures back or take whatever
unfavorable pictures.
Yeah, unfavorable.
If you haven't seen them, just check our word for it, okay?
It's very not a graphic. Compromising. Yeah, right. And they do look staged.
Does it really?
In a little way, it kind of looks staged. It looks like I just pulled somebody and let me put you right here. Don't nobody just pull their pills out. In some ways, it looks staged to me. See what? Because difference of opinion.
He's even now. He's still not fighting the legitimacy of the situation.
Well, and another thing that they were holding out that week was Gay Pride Week down there in South Beach. So a lot of people were saying, okay, you were just there celebrating the festivities of that weekend. It was ending up that weekend. That was the end of it that weekend, and everything that was going on. And like I said last week, I just want you to step to the mic
So you still on that?
Yeah,
You
step
still
to the
on
mic
that?
and
You
tell me
still
what's
on
going
that? You
on.
still on that
Yeah.
situation? Huh?
Well, he ain't gonna step to no mic because he got a lawyer. He did good PR.
But that's what I mean by, if people are thinking that that's who he is, then why are they saying it's staged? That's the part that's getting me. I wouldn't think it was staged if that was his reality. Why would you need to stage that? I think it's either one or the other, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Either it's staged and he's who he thought he was, or that's his reality and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it could be one or the other. Maybe it's just me. Now, I haven't given my opinion about what I think, but I have seen people to try to straddle both sides, and I don't think you can straddle both sides.
That's why he need to go to the mic, because people are in a position like they just don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
People are saying, I mean, it could look staged because it's real life. It's real. So I mean, if it's real, then that's just what happened.
So Corey Eubanks wrote, he wanted it to look staged. Unless you do drugs, you can't tell if it's staged. And that could be true.
Corey, what's going on?
That could be true because, like I say, I don't know if you lay all of them out when you take a pill, or you do this or you do that. I mean, I have my past, so I'm not gonna say that when I was out having a good time, how we left the room or how we was, how social distancing, how things ended up that night. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with what Corey is saying. Or you've been drinking and you
he's
and your friend girls
drinking.
And,
he's admitted that he had too much, and he did do that, but he hasn't come all the way, for most people, correct about some things, and
just live your truth. And I think because this 2020,
what is true? What is
where
true?
we are right now, I don't think is not like if young adults or adults come out, and say, well, this is who I am. Some people are doing both, having a family and so forth. I'm not saying if that's an arrangement that they have or anything like that. But
get deep into it.
Hey.
Corey said, I don't do drugs. He was making that. He was setting the record straight. But I have a question for you on that subject. You're saying people are more accepting. People are more, I don't know if I asked this question, but
not to be compromising. Right. Let's just put it that way, because I don't want to. Tanisha say not to be compromising, because I teach the Bible. However, we are in this world right now where a lot of things are accepted.
Right.
Take Jenna, for instance. What's the guy name? The tennis guy, the Kardashian stepdad. Jenner, whatever.
But that's not what he calls him.
When there was a situation with him, when he came out, he got Woman of the Year. I say, well, how? You don't have no experience of being a woman. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say a lot of things we accept and we like, all right,
But here's for someone in his position, it's not just about acceptance of him as a person. Can he be accepted politically as a politician?
I think so.
Would you think that?
I think he would still do well.
Do you think that if he is who some suggest that he is, would he, with the same record, the same energy, would he have gotten as far on the doorstep of the governor's mansion? Do you honestly think that he would have made it that far?
No.
Because what I've discovered, and this may be up for debate, I don't think African Americans as receptive to that. What do you say? You don't want to touch that, because African Americans really pushed him to get as close as he.
African Americans are acceptable. I mean,
I don't think they like.
I think we are. We have a whole lot of a lot of smack to talk about it, and we throw the Bible and.
I'm not sure,
but because it's so prevalent in our communities as any community, I think we still extend love. You know
We're
what I'm
gonna
saying?
love him, but I still don't think that
I
he
mean, that
would
doesn't mean
have.
that you agree, but we extend love. So, I mean, a lot of things that people do as politicians or I may agree, I may be a part of this ministry. I may not agree with everything that come out your mouth. You may not, you know that because you
Right,
probably get
I
emails from
understand
members.
that.
Oh, pastor, I know how it is, but I'm there and I still
Right,
support you. So that's how I look at it.
but if you're in the strategy meeting and that comes up, and should I or shouldn't I, you would vote. Go ahead and tell your truth.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
hard to keep a lie. See,
Well, it was kept.
I have a
If that was
bad,
the,
I
if that
have a
was,
bad time remembering stuff. So if I lie, I'm caught on the next conversation. And I'm serious. It's hard to keep up a facade and a lie
now
in
for
your
the
life.
record, again, this is not. This is all talk.
Hmm.
This is, this is
Hypothetical,
hypothetical. This has not been. I don't know if it can be proven. I guess, but
stamped and sealed.
we only know based upon what he has said. And so if it's his truth, it's his truth. But again, my position is I just don't see it as it's either stage or it's his truth. I don't think it could be both. So I just don't think. One person say you are who you are, and his sexuality should not determine his worth. I agree. I agree. I just don't think the majority of people agree with that situation, which is why most times, especially, I think it would be more detrimental as a black male. I really do. I don't know
Well,
why
like I
I
said
feel that
last
way.
week, and we'll move on. Like I said last week, it felt like that was my cousin. I
Right.
felt like that was my nephew. You understand what I'm saying? We all had that, oh man, not him, type of thought in our head because we rooting for you. We want you to do good. You like
But
we
he's
have
still a
we
good
and
guy.
yeah,
That's what
he
I mean. He's
is.
still a
He
good guy.
is.
There's nothing. He's still a good
He is.
guy.
That's why I would
Every
say I would still be like, okay,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think that the African American community has progressed far enough for him to have, if he was running for mayor of Tallahassee, or but the fact that he was running for governor of the state of Florida, I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think. Remember now, and I have family members that are on here. He was a dark horse even in African American eyes for a long time. People didn't
Yeah.
know who Andrew Gillum was.
Yeah.
And so
Even when he was on the
right,
ballot.
even he was on the ballot, I had to convince some of my family members that this brother, I've heard him speak, is very. I knew that he was the man for the job, but some people still did not know who he was, and I think this would have just pushed him off to the side, and he just wouldn't have ever really been noticeable. But it's either here or there. We're gonna see though.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna
All
see.
right. And I'm still rooting for you. So planes are being shut down. So I had well, y'all don't talk about me, but I
Okay.
still had something scheduled for this weekend. so I know you're listening right now to my friend.
Somebody say gay and drugs, we start rooting.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's a combination. But anyway, go ahead.
But
Where
you
you
know
was
what?
going? You was still
They
trying to
never
go
tested
somewhere?
him for that, but I'm gonna move on with that. They never said we tested him, but because well, then cocaine only stay in the system for a short period of time. All right, so I was still scheduled to go out of town on Friday. Should I go? I mean, like, I could just walk with a can of spray.
You
Just
can go by car.
no, anybody driving. I'll drive past 3 hours, and that's too long.
You in Florida. You can't get nowhere without
Yeah, like it's Delta. I know has stopped some of their planes and American Airlines. Well, let me tell you something about Spirit and JetBlue. They still flying.
Yeah.
They still flying. And I
Are they
got stock
still
in Spirit. They
Spirit
still
still charging
flying.
those fees is what I want to know.
Spirit Airlines. When I looked on it, it was $35 round trip to where I was going.
That means the flight gonna be $300.
No, that was it. There was no tax. That was it.
No, they're gonna charge you for the bag. They're gonna charge you for the
I
seat.
don't. I
They're
don't
gonna
take all
charge
that
you for
stuff.
all that. You got to pay for all that
No,
with
I don't.
Spirit.
I
Yes,
don't
you
have to pay for
do.
that. Listen, I'm not paying for a seat. When I
Big
get
chair.
there,
What is the big chair? If you want to pick your seat, if
I
you
don't
want
need no
that,
big chair.
well, obviously now because you probably get in
I don't need no big chair.
You gotta pay for your first bag, your carry on.
My carry on.
You gotta pay for the carry on.
No, you don't. Everybody who went with
Well, you
Spirit,
must be
y'all
out
know
of
I
nine.
carry
You
on
must
me
be
like
out
this.
of $9.
I
You
carry
must be
on me
on the
like,
nine.
hold on, can you see?
You must be on the $9. You must be paying the $9.
I don't pay the $9. No, I don't pay for the sitting. I just get on. They tell you where
You're
you're gonna
gonna
sit
pay
at,
for your
and I'm all
carry-on.
right with that. I get on and I get
I
off.
did that with my wife one
I'm not doing all
time.
that. You don't have to. You don't have to do all that.
And it was cheap. And I had to pay an extra $200. Oh, baby, this one cheap. I'm like, the devil, we
Y'all pay
I could have got you
35.
first class down to for these prices. That's how they get you.
Yeah, I don't do that.
It's bait and switch.
See, but I don't do that.
No,
Yeah,
you sneaking your bag.
What she said, I heard today. What she say?
But no, it is. I would go. I'm trying to convince my wife that by July I can go somewhere. That's for my 40th birthday, and she's not budging. Or maybe she's really trying to surprise
July
me.
not that bad.
Well, that's what I've been trying to say.
Well, check this out, and I'll move on. My friend sent me some pictures that she's on a cruise ship in Puerto Rico. So
right. Don't shake her hand when she get back.
I know. Well, they say that when you come back from these places that you need to automatically quarantine yourself.
I'm gonna do that show by Skype.
No, I ain't gonna do that. I would no. When they come, they just put on there. If you like if I go somewhere Friday and I come back, I'm supposed to quarantine myself for 14 days.
Okay, we're good.
That's what it says. So that means the same thing with those who go on cruise who are already at sea. When they come back home, they're supposed to quarantine, means stay in your house and don't go any. That means anywhere.
So we'll do table talk from Zoom after you come back.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna go because my family was really concerned.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah, sure, right?
Yeah, but still.
I tell my wife, you
go on, baby. Go ahead on. I got you.
I got you, man. We gonna be good.
Nah, yeah. I'm gonna take their precautions.
I think you should go, because
I think Real say I should go
because I want to go somewhere.
So if I go,
so
I'm like
come back,
him. If I go, I'm a cheerleader for him.
Right.
Okay.
I'm trying to go anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I go across the street.
I listen.
Ooh, this cabin fever is something else. Yeah, go wash it. Go wash it. Well, I remember say go wash it. Yeah, I might have to wash them 4 times before I leave here for sure.
Yeah. And I want to talk about one thing also. Guys, you got to excuse us because I'm just trying to get so many subjects that are out there that happened this week. We usually take time to joke around, which we're still doing right now, and have little small chats. But there's so many subjects that are out there to talk about that I want to, put them out there, try to get as many as possible for you guys. Now, I wanted to talk about the unemployment rate.
Yes.
Some people have, with their businesses, they're closed their doors. They didn't say, hey, I'll see you later. It was basically, this is it.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you're fired. They ain't do no layoffs. I'm sorry, but, shouldn't they do a layoff? Well, you can do a layoff and don't have anything to compensate with.
I was reading a story today, Marriott. They didn't fire their employee. He went to apply for unemployment, and HR reached back out to him and said, "No, you're not fired. You're just on 0 hours." Which means that he's not getting paid, and he can't apply. He doesn't get his benefits, and he cannot apply for unemployment.
Yeah.
And so the hidden, stories about what's going on is that there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that will never be compensated for this time that they're missing off of work. Some are like this brother; he's not fired, can't get unemployment. There are some that have been terminated. There are some companies that don't even offer unemployment. And so there are just so many things and so many businesses that are shutting down. And what happens to the people? This is almost, I was sharing with my wife just last night as we were on the way home, is when you look around in the streets and you see things closed, it's as if there was a national disaster. This is what you see living in South Florida, like a hurricane, but there are no trees on the ground, but everything is shut down. And the whole nation is going to have to go through a major recovery
Right,
period. So
right.
I'm not going to be able to tout those unemployment numbers now because
Yeah,
it's going to be low. But what do you
yeah.
do? What do you
And
do?
those companies, they're not going to want to pay unemployment
No,
because they're the ones that have to
they have
pay.
to pay.
They're not going to want to pay
And if
unemployment,
you're
but they
part
will.
time, there are a
Yeah.
lot of people that work several part time jobs, and
Hmm.
of course they don't get unemployment. I run a small business, and unfortunately we had to this week here tell a few workers that have to come in next week. That's where we are. This is the sad part of what's going on, and
Yeah.
so but you have a catch-22 in this situation because that is why businesses do not want to close
Right. Because they know
because
that
they
everybody's
know.
going to go apply.
Right,
Yeah. Hmm.
right. And so I mean, what do you recommend? What do you do in that situation?
I mean, it's a catch-22. For businesses, just
Right,
as you said, if I let these people go, they're gonna go and apply. If I say no, then I'm the bad guy
right,
because you know what's going on. Go ahead
right,
and give me the unemployment.
right,
So they would say no. It would be business practice that they would say no, and that you do the appeal, which takes a while because they can appeal and appeal.
right.
And then if they get the $50,000, they still don't want to spend all that
Right.
on unemployment. They want to keep it in their business for
Of
their own
course,
bills.
they have to
So is that
reinvest.
catch-22 with that? And with the person who loses their job, it's like starting all over. It puts the economy, and it puts the person. I think I said this last week. It put people together now. It makes them. We all gonna have to move into this house.
Right.
Hopefully that doesn't happen for a lot of people.
Right.
But it kind of pushes people, together. And if you do have those family members, so many people are buying so many different things. Why not come together and do those things?
This is the
You have
time to
all these
be
small
sensible
houses. Yeah.
about what we do with coming together. I call it the Mexican mentality, if you would, for my words with that. But I mean, they have, and a lot of foreigners, I would say, they have that model. They come together. This is going to be the time that we have to make smart decisions about what we do, what we buy, what we finance, because what this has shown us is that anything can happen that
Hmm.
can shut the economy down.
Right.
This is where, not to be harsh, but this is where teaches us why we should practice good savings.
Hmm.
Because, hey, honestly, there are a lot of people struggling and they haven't missed one check yet.
Right.
They're already they were struggling before this, and this has only just enlarged the struggle. But this is an opportunity to understand that when we do rebound, we will understand the value of saving. We will understand the value of being an entrepreneur to the point to where, hey, I'm not going to put all of my eggs in one basket, just like we do with our finance. You have to diversify what we do because it businesses want to try to help people, but their job is to also stay in business, because if they don't stay in business, there's no employers to have to pay, employees to have to pay anyway. And so this situation is just unlike anything that we've ever had to deal with, because this is not a Florida issue, a New York issue. This is a country, a nation issue. And I believe, from, even I'm a history buff, I haven't seen something to just shut the entire world down before. Unlike,
What's
so
that
we're
person's
in
name? I'm looking at your.
somebody say that's my aunt. Don't be like Troy. I was gonna, when I said it, I thought of him. I actually thought of him. That's my aunt. I literally thought of him when I said it. But that is true. We said it jokingly. But that we know of them to be able to come together. They live together. They save, and when they leave, that's not a negative term. When they
And you
come
know what?
together,
It's right, because guess what? We're talking about when we don't have any economics. It's hard to feed your family.
absolutely.
So then we have a hunger issue. Because I
Yes.
haven't heard anything, or any of the administration, or whether it's Democrat or Republicans, say anything about food. We do see a lot of food, what do you call it? Food shares,
Right,
that are offered to different organizations. And I think that's wonderful. I mean, if they have some around your town, hey, drive through and get a bag.
right,
But they haven't said anything about, when it was the hurricanes,
right,
the EBT card or anything like that.
right,
People now are having an
right.
expectation of that. Like,
I didn't
hey,
even
where
think
I
about
call
that.
that.
That's
You know
yeah.
what I'm
I
saying?
remember.
Like
Yeah,
we
we
still have
right,
to eat. We're
right,
putting out all
right,
this money for this
right.
right here to save, but we still have to eat after we've been
They need to make that a part of the
quarantined.
stimulus package, which is, and I told my wife this. I didn't want to make it public, but if I was in office, I would vote against the stimulus package. I don't like it.
Well, a lot of people would vote are voting against or have negative to the stimulus package. Now, let me ask you this question: why would you vote against it? So
Because I
maybe
don't
people can
think
understand.
because 8 people from what I've read again, well, I'm sure my aunt could chime in as well. She there's only one channel in her house, MSNBC.
Oh, okay.
So she probably know every 8 Republicans that voted against it. But in looking and researching it, while the stimulus, I think there was a rush to judgment to say we need stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the language of the stimulus package, it does not do enough for me.
Right.
It's rolled out in several stages, and one of the stages that it doesn't address the businesses, especially small ones, as much as I think it should. And when it does address it, it addresses it from the point of just giving them a tax break.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's not going to stimulate small businesses.
No.
A tax break. So therefore, the entire stimulus is a one shot, $1,500, $2,000 one shot deal. And to me, that's not enough. I think in order to stimulate the economy, you have to do it through the businesses, because if the businesses can reopen and stay open, that means they can hire their employees. If you stimulate the businesses, maybe they can go back and back pay their employees. I think you can make that a part of getting the stimulus. That there's ways that you can do that, but I don't think it addresses the business aspect of it enough. And I didn't even think about the food aspect of it. That's nowhere in the stimulus package at all. And so I think that I would vote against it. Not that I would vote against the need of a stimulus. I don't like the language of it. And what you have to understand, once this goes through, they're not going to come back and readdress it. They're going to do it. They're going to say we did something. But the question would be, did you do enough?
Right. And that's one of the things that people wonder why it hasn't been like, well, my money.
Right.
It hasn't been approved yet because a lot of Democrats are saying basically the same language that you're saying. And I'm okay with that because you have to be able to read that stuff. Don't be so quick to say, "Oh, okay, just give me my money."
Right, just give me my money.
You know what I'm saying? Just give me my money. You can't just do that. You have to make sure, that's the actual deal, y'all. I'm trying to do 2 things at one time.
It's big. It is bigger than just a one. Again, it's bigger than a money grab or split right here. It's just bigger than that. And so what we have to learn to do is understand. And I don't know if it's available. Somehow, somewhere I received some of the information, but just in doing my research, I found out that it did not do enough long term. Because what we're understanding is this is not, again, like a hurricane. Power's going to be back on 2 weeks. No, they're talking about months.
Right.
People are going to be at home for months. And I'm sorry, $2,000 is not enough. That's someone's rent.
It ain't even 2,000. I think it's
right.
If
I mean,
that's
the high number. That's the high number.
Know.
But $1,500, that's not even someone's rent. That would be good, but if I don't have a job,
yeah, definitely not nobody rent down here.
Right. So I think that we have to understand the process of this and be smart about it, and contact your legislators and let them know that listen, this is what we want. We want to make sure that I have a job to go back to. I want to make sure that, hey, I can get this EBT card, and hey, we're not too proud. We did it for the hurricane. We'll do it again.
Yeah, right.
But those are some of the things that we have to understand, that this is a crisis that's not going away anytime soon, and we have to make sure that our government steps in and do what needs to be done for a long term. See, I told my auntie China. I told her
well, I can't read what you got, auntie. You need to be on the other page
Big
so I can
Nancy
see.
is holding their feet to the fire about trying to change his package so that small. That's it. So that small business get a higher percent of what's going on. That's absolutely true.
Say her name. Give her credit.
That's my aunt Osi Fry. She is a stay-at-home consultant for MSNBC.
You know what? There's a lot of them.
I'm gonna try to get her a check. If she learn how to use Skype, she could probably get.
Listen, my mama that too. My daughter came to me. She said, "Mommy, Grandma just downloaded Facebook." I said, "Oh Lord, she don't know how to use no Facebook." I said, "Put on Twitter."
I love MSNBC. I do too.
Okay.
I watch more CNN, but she loves MSNBC. I tell you,
let's stay on to that.
Yeah. So
yeah. Well, thank you guys for actually tuning in. And if you have any questions, I know I have it on different streams. It's on Nathan's page. It's on my page. I also have it on my YouTube page, the Table Talk radio show. You can view it there. We're doing this on Mondays now. Okay, originally I was on Sundays at 5 o'clock.
Down the street
in Miami.
From my house.
Yeah. Listen, he down the street from your house. Now I'm on Mondays. Down the street, around the corner, over the hill. Yeah, that's right. Down the street from my house. So I guess get a break right now. To go a little closer in.
Cash out me some gas money.
Yeah, cash out whatever cash out is. Oh, and another. Let me ask you this question because I said
we got 8 minutes.
Okay, good. So I said this on. I did a live, and I was thanking people because I did a review of the movie Self Made, and I said Cash App. Would you accept Cash App like doing the virtual church that we're doing right now? And I said no because I don't think it identifies as a payment. Like when you have to go to the bank to show your members and your payments, I don't think they doing Cash App.
I did not have Cash App before Thursday.
Okay.
for our church.
Right.
And I did it because a lot of members began to ask us about it. So what we're going to do, we're Cash App doesn't have a back office.
Yeah, it's not a bank or anything. Yeah.
Right. So we're just, I'm personally doing it honestly. We're just monitoring and making sure we print out and screenshot those that gave so they can go ahead and get their credit for what they need. And so but to pastors out there, make sure with the Cash App especially that you have somebody that you trust over it, because Cash App you can move money easy on Cash App, but it's just a form of a way to give. And lo and behold, when we logged on last night, a lot of people had given the Cash App, and so it's just another convenient way. It's not it's secure, but it's not the route. It would be the about all the options. It would definitely be on the bottom of the list.
Right. Well, I think one of the best options is online. Right. Because I do mine online. We have like 2 kiosks at our church, but like 4 kiosks at the church.
4 kiosks. We got a deacon hole. We got a deacon hole in it.
Listen,
they got a whole kiosk, a whole booth.
But some people feel like, because I've been doing church ministry consulting for a while. Some people feel like it will cost a lot. It's not. It's just a equipment. Just do a kiosk. It'll be.
Some people don't have a space for no doggone kiosk.
But this little tall. Just do a kiosk. You want that money? They want that money. Y'all do a kiosk.
We got the.
Or the other thing is, and some people feel like, no, I won't do that because I have a lot of things that's deducted automatically.
Right. I have some members that do automatic deductions.
Okay. Awesome. Yes. You guys can push that.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I don't push it. Honestly, those that are on it, they came to us about it.
Well, I ain't mean push it like, hey, y'all, y'all know what I mean.
Right. No, but I'm saying some people push it, like they push it. One church, they push it at the orientation from what I was told. I won't call the name, but they got a form, like.
Yeah.
But so the Cash App thing, while it's nice and convenient, it is probably the least favorite of mine, but it's there, and people have to use it and they have to do, but give to your church. This is a tough season for the church, especially. And so I told my members with the form of transparency, if you have been blessed to not be affected financially, make sure you maintain your consistency with your church. For some, we understand because we want to be able to be a blessing,
right.
And help, not necessarily, maybe not monetary, but groceries or whatever. And we can only do that realistically if we have the resources to do it. And for our church, especially, they know that we have a heart for ministry. And again, that's one of the things that we're wrestling with. As you were talking about food, I automatically thought about we've been receiving calls about can we open up and start feeding people. But one of the things that I said was number one, we have to practice still the health component of that. But I thought about if we start giving out free food, then the roadmen, they're going to lose even more business. So that's what I mean about we're just in such a difficult time. If it was hurricane, no power, then it would be easy. But I really feel that if we decided, hey, we're going to just offer free food, people that were buying food won't buy it, and it's going to affect businesses even more. And so there's just so many things. And so if you're part of a ministry, don't bash them, don't talk about them, just pray for them. If you are part of a small business, think Lady K cash. She put a cash out. Lord, this lady need prayer.
Hey guys, there's a
You
cash
say
out
put
right
my
there.
cash out. She put her cash out.
Oh,
I
okay.
tell
Well, you
you.
asked for
And
a
our accounts
reliable,
ain't linked.
responsible
Our
person.
accounts ain't linked. You send it to her. Know this: if you send it to her, I ain't gonna get it. I'm just.
Okay.
But if you have a small business, pray for it. Be patient with the owner. I'm sure they're trying to do the best they can. I have a payroll Friday, and I'm like, Lord, thank you that we have it to do, but there are other payrolls to come, and so we're all trying to get through this together. And so pray for if you are blessed to still be getting paid, consider yourself truly blessed, because there's so many people out here that this may be their final check that they're going to receive in a while. And so I
want to say two more things before we get off. I know a lot of kids are home right now. I just ask that you guys are being very diligent about who you are keeping your kids with. Be diligent about the true friendliness of neighbors, and be aware and keep your eyes open as to what's going on, because these times right here make predators and those people very accessible. It makes it very easy because a lot of kids are home. People like to knock on other people's doors, neighbors, and people who, whoever. I just want you, and the reason I say that because something recently happened. I just want you to just be very careful. You know, don't look at it as I don't have any other choice. Hey, call me. I don't have any other choice, or I have to do this. And we feel like at 10 they can stay home by themselves.
Right.
And I don't agree. I mean, but
don't have to worry about that in my house. So
yeah, because it's just that just be careful, because somebody a trolley right back around and knock at your door. Yes. And say your mama told me to stop by. Yes. And that ended up what actually happening.
Wow.
And
playing outside, it was a time where your kids could just play outside and you could be doing something else, sleep. But kids are home, they want to go outside, and unfortunately we're living in a time now where they have to be supervised. When my kids go outside, I have a window that's right outside the door. I have to stand there, and my wife makes sure I'm sitting there watching them, because you just can't trust anyone anymore, unfortunately. And while we're cautious, the predators are going to be preying.
Right.
They're going to be preying, and I'm not talking about PRAY either. They're going to be preying on our children, because they know that there are a lot of children floating around. Parents are working, people that are not used to watching the kids are watching them, and so this could be
send them to the store, and all that kind of
store and doing this, and this is a high time for that, and so that's something else again. Maybe unfortunately a repercussion of what's going on. So we just have to keep that in mind.
All right, guys, this has been a great show here on the Table Talk Radio Show with myself and Nathan Austin, or Rev Nathan Austin, or Pastor Nathan Austin.
A, whatever.
Whichever one you want to call them. Let them know where, well, they can't come visit. We're online. Listen, but let me tell y'all something, because I tune in every Tuesday. Yeah.
So we're Zion Church. For those that not familiar with the contemporary name, it is the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church of Pompano Beach, Florida. Our address is 1525 Northwest 7th Street, but you can catch us on our page. You can follow us on my personal page, Nathan Eagle Austin, or Zion Church on Facebook. We are Zion Church on YouTube as well. They've got some videos going up daily. We're going to still be every Tuesday at 7. We'll have our Bible study, and on Sundays, you can catch a word again at 9 a.m. every Sunday online as well. So check us out, like us, and follow us, and certainly we'll be blessed if you do that. And then if you're not a part, you're a blessing. So into what we're doing. God has really blessed us to be able to do some marvelous things for the kingdom.
Amen.
You want to talk about your church? Nope.
Yeah, my church is, what you say, Community Christian Church. We're right there in Tamarack, guys. It's communitycc.org. You can go online. We're available every day at 12 o'clock. We're doing like a little short 5 to 10 minutes encouragement. And also, if you go to the website, you'll be able to click a prayer. If you want to add a prayer, you'll be able to see the kids ministry, what they're doing. Also, our women's ministry. Even though we're not together on Wednesday, we made it a way that we can be together on Wednesday through Zoom and other platforms. So I'm one of the leaders and teachers. So if you want some encouragement on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, let me know. I'll send you some information. But we do thank you guys, and make sure that you tune back in next week on Monday at 7 p.m. I don't know if we'll be still here, but we'll still be able to. We'll be able to contact you guys. Like we're streaming now, we'll be able to be in split streams to be able to Nathan will be able to stream at home, and I'll be able to stream at home. Well,
I won't be able to do it at home. Not with peace and not with no children. I'm gonna have to be in my car somewhere. I'd rather be here.
Yeah, but hopefully we will be, because it's just us. So we're not hearing a whole lot of a crowd, and I want to support the business as well. So we'll be here on next Monday, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're supposed to do a challenge. The challenge is the Tyler Perry challenge, and I don't know why it's a challenge. I guess maybe nobody don't know the song, but I think everybody knows the song, even if they did go to church. The name of the song is "He Got the Whole World in His Hand."
Oh, that's what I thought it was. Reach out and touch somebody. Oh, I don't know.
Listen, don't know about the words, but what's her name? Diana Ross.
Oh, it's a church challenge. Okay. Okay.
So you ready to sing this song? Okay. 1, 2, 3. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand.
One more time.
He got the whole world. Hang on, tambourine. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. He got the whole world in his hand. All right. God bless y'all. Peace. God bless America, guys. You have a great one.
Bye-bye.